Hey there, this is Bronx Brothers Motorcycles and my name is Richie, and this is part 3 of my ride through Appalachia. Today I'm rolling through the stunning roads of Hot Springs, Virginia on my 2009 built Harley Davidson Electra glide, chasing waterfalls and history. We'll stop by the legendary Humpback Bridge, soak in the beauty of Falling Springs Falls near Covington, and ride heading towards Greenbank, West Virginia. So if you love motorcycles and learning about new places to ride to, saddle up and come along for the adventure. Let's go. Day 2. This morning was a little bit chilly. 52 degrees, but it has warmed up significantly quickly. I'm not perspiring, but if I stay in this sun long enough, I will. Now the bike, plastered with bugs. We're gonna get on the road and I'm gonna show you some stuff, so let's go. Well, I took a ride over to the Humpback Bridge to show you guys a piece of history of Virginia. So, just west of Covington in Allegheny County, Virginia, it was built in 1857. A timber arch-covered bridge with a distinctive humpback design, meaning the middle of the bridge rises higher than the ends. Claim to fame, it's the oldest surviving covered bridge in Virginia and one of the most photographed spots in the state. Why the humpback shape? The arch in the middle rises about 4 feet higher than the ends. The design helped with two things: strength and durability. The curve distributed the load better. Flood protection. The raised middle allowed floodwaters from Dunlop Creek to pass without destroying the bridge. Built by Wirtz and Company of Staunton, Virginia, constructed with massive hand-honed timbers, joined by wooden pegs, no metal bolts, served as part of the old James River and Kanawha Turnpike, a vital road connecting the Shenandoah Valley with the western frontier. In use as a road bridge until 1929, when it was retired and preserved as a historic site. In 1950, the Business and Professional Women's Club of Covington raised money to restore the bridge. Today, the site is a wayside park managed by the Virginia Department of Transportation. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places and designated a Virginia Historic Landmark. The bridge is about 100 feet long. Couples often carve their initials on the bridge timbers, a long-standing tradition. It's one of only a few covered bridges left in Virginia. Once the state had hundreds. And there you have it. That is the history of the Humpback Bridge in Covington, Virginia. If you're ever in the area, make sure you stop by. It's a peaceful park. Nice. Anyway, let's proceed. We got a big day ahead of us. Well, that was the bridge, and now we are headed to Cardo, radio off. So that was the Humpback Bridge, and now we are headed to some waterfalls. Cardo, radio off. So my Cardo system keeps I don't know why my Cardo is doing all this stuff, but it is turning the radio on and doing a bunch of stuff. So, but here we are, this beautiful area, enjoying the day. I just had a phone call from my daughters who are on a cruise ship headed to the Caribbean. They are headed to the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and some other island, with a bunch of my family from Florida. Cardo, radio off. It's really getting on my nerves. Minutes, 9 miles. This is Allegheny County, and yeah, we are now in Covington, and it's telling me to hang a left here on 220. Well, I've been down this road yesterday. Welcome to Covington. Now the thing is, yesterday I was wondering what the town of Covington was like, and here's my answer. So we're going to take Route 220. This is the same way I came yesterday. I'm not sure if I came from the other side of 220 or this one, but I will soon find out. So Virginia is very, very large, you know, because we live on the East Coast, on the east side of Virginia, and basically we're the ocean. We're right next to the ocean. I live just a few miles from the ocean, and 3.5 hours later is the mountains like this, which is pretty fortunate to live in an area like this. Do I wish it was closer? Yes. Yeah, I came down this mountain yesterday. There's a scenic stop at the top. Now these roads are also banked, so it's like Daytona. Awesome. I love it. See, the road signs will tell you when there's a bunch of turns coming up. This is 25 miles per hour. Look at the banking on this turn.
Not sure if the video does it justice, but all the roads are banked. All the turns in the right way, in the correct way. Oh boy, you could ride up and down this road all day. 2 lanes on this side. It's nice and cool back here, because when you're in the sun it is warm. I adjusted my clutch and woo, that's hot. It's a little bit easier to find. Cardo, radio off. Oh, that's the waterfall. Yeah. And they have these trash cans for, I guess, the bears. The problem with this camera is that the battery dies out quickly. Yep, I remember being here. Top of the world over here, Ma. Beautiful. We just saw the falls, and now we're gonna head to we're gonna go to Greenbank, but we're gonna go by all these towns and stop and look and just see what there is to do. So plenty to see and do. Okay, so we're going to continue. Did not want to use the drone because it is not permitted. Okay, and we're off. Yep, it's beautiful around here. I mean, I just can't say enough. Huh. Falling Springs. Do I want to go that way? Nah, I don't think so. Let's just continue. Now, I was watching some of the footage last night, and what I realized was that the wind canceling on the mic that I'm using was not functioning properly. There was a lot of wind noise. Now, I think I have it on correctly now, I'm hoping. So there's a lot that goes into all of this recording stuff for the channel that most people don't understand. The guys that ride with me understand because they see in the evening how long I take, and every time we stop where I'm fidgeting with cameras and gear and things like that. So they have a good understanding of it, a good idea anyway. I don't know if they have a full understanding, but nevertheless, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras. So between batteries and memory cards and all of that stuff, and then I have the mic, the wireless mic as well. That's 5 different items I have to keep track of and basically make sure everything is functioning properly. You guys have no idea how many times I've done footage. That's beautiful. How many times I've recorded, and when I get home there is nothing, or the volume didn't work, or I had the camera on pictures or time lapse. So it's a lot to keep track of, but years of experience helps you to get better and better. This is what I tell a lot of people. Say, oh, you make pretty good videos, you make nice video. I'm like, well, if I haven't learned in 4.5 years, you know, I keep challenging myself to improve. You know, in all honesty, all of this recording is a crapshoot. It's like you're not sure if it's going to come out the way you want it to make a video where somebody would want to sit down and watch it. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention with that is, if you guys can and have access to YouTube on your TV, that is the best way to watch most of my videos, especially the ones like this. And as a matter of fact, all of them, because even on when I'm doing maintenance and things like that, watching it on your phone is a little bit difficult because it's so small. So you can't get the details that you do when you watch it on a big screen. Now, that was the Popo. How fast am I going? There's a 55, I'm going 65. I have an 85-inch TV at home in my office. It's where I edit these videos. So a lot of these towns that we're riding through have a lot of history of the Civil War. The Union would come through these areas, and of course the Confederates, this is their home. So it's from Virginia on down. So there's a lot of history. This is kind of the border, and it's where a lot of the fighting took place. I was talking to my brother about it this morning. He was telling me in West Virginia rather, there was some areas where the soldiers, the Confederate soldiers, would camp out and wait for the Union so that they can catch them by surprise. And some of the Confederate soldiers died from exposure, from freezing to death, because it got too cold overnight, and yeah, they perished. This is the There's the golf course that we rode by yesterday. Beautiful day to be out there. I did my DNA and I'm mostly Spanish first, then Portuguese, and then I do have some Native American, which is what the Puerto Rican natives are considered. The Indians, the natives from Puerto Rico, are considered Native Americans because, as you can imagine, they traveled through the Americas to get to those islands. So, and it was probably Venezuela that they, well, the belief is they traveled from Venezuela on canoes or whatever to the islands, because that was the shortest distance. Now the leaves are changing over here rather quickly. This is small town America. There's a baseball field right there to my left. That looks like an old school. I'd love to buy that. 30 years ago when I was younger, make something of it. I wanted to mention, for those of you that watch, because I know there's people that watch these videos outside of the US, this is what America is like. And I watch a lot of YouTubers travel through America, through the United States that is, and there's no problems. Now if you just watch the news and social media, you would think that America is falling apart at the seams, and that is furthest from the truth. So even where I live, we don't have these, I don't know how to phrase it, we don't have problems like that things that you see on TV. And there's more than 500,000 inhabitants in the city that I live, and to think that there's no problems like that. Oh yeah, I came here with my cousin too. Yep. Thinking we were looking for the Greenbrier. Well, this is not the Greenbrier. It's quite impressive. I looked at the price of staying at the Greenbrier. That was $500 a night. Yeah, a little too rich for my blood. If I was spending all day and night there, but for just a few hours and to sleep. Now what I didn't mention was last night I went to a diner to eat, which was 3 minutes away from the house. And I had a basic hamburger, basically road food, French fries, and a soft drink. And it was the local hot spot of the area. Sam Sneed. A lot of golf around here. Sam Sneed's. Claire's Cafe. ABC Licorice. Nope. Hot Springs Building. Going into a brewery, but I don't drink beer. That's weird.
Well, it seems we've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the areas I took you to. I took you to the Humpback Bridge, pretty cool place. Very picturesque. It's kind of like a park over there. Good place to stop with the family, take some pictures, maybe have a picnic. And more than anything, write you and your loved one's name inside the bridge somewhere. That was pretty cool. We also went to the falls. I mean, it's not Niagara Falls, which I have been to, but it was pretty cool seeing these falls out in the middle of nowhere on the top of this mountain. Not something you see every day. Now on the next and final video of the series, I will be stopping by the town of Greenbank, West Virginia. Kind of a spooky place, eerie place. You should be subscribed so that you can get notifications when my next video comes out about Greenbank. Now I will tell you, the Greenbank Observatory, there's no signal for an hour. No radio, no TV. That's what kind of makes it spooky. Those people that live out there, they're not in touch with everyday life like the rest of the world is. Anyhow, that's Greenbank. And I had a little mishap. See how that ends for me. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you haven't given this video a like, I really appreciate it. I think it at least deserves that. If you're new to this channel, these are the types of videos I put out. I put out touring videos, tutorial videos, gear review, parts installations, everything and anything to do with motorcycles. I own 8 motorcycles in all. I own a few Harleys and a few of the other brands. If you like motorcycles like I like motorcycles, you're in the right place. With all that being said, you all take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the roads, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Adios.